This is Ayman Khan here for Boxing Social in association with Betfred with the one and only Frank Warren who's been casting his eye over tonight's action. Frank, first of all, let's start with Hamza Sheeraz. Hamza, good fight there, good learning fight there too. Just a reaction to Hamza's performance as well, also the knockdown he suffered tonight too.
Well, he was in with a quality fighter. In his previous fight had got a draw against Benvenides, who's had, at that time, I think had 28 fights and only lost one, and he got a draw against him. So now you've got that yardstick that I mentioned before the fight and the previews to gauge where he's at, and it was brilliant. I mean, he boxed well, he's jabbed. Once he got that jab going, he's powerful. I mean, he knocked him over twice with a jab, and got caught himself. A bit of a flash knockdown, but he was standing square on. But that livened him up a bit. But then when he had to turn it on, he did, and he's a powerful, powerful fighter, and I was exceptionally pleased with him. So his journey is onwards and upwards, and I hope at the end of the day, and I believe, he's going to go all the way.
He's going to go all the way, but it might make sense, Frank. You've got the British champion, middleweight champion in Denzel Bentley. Is that a fight you look to make, or is Hamza on his own path?
Well, I think the pair of them want the fight when we do it down the road. I mean, it's something to say. Denzel's going to be out soon. And then after that, we'll make a decision whether we do make the fight between the both of them.
Nick Ball, they're calling him the Scouse Gervonta Davis.
I'll call him the wrecking ball. I mean, you can't get rid of him, can you? He's all over you. He's like a it's like he's got Velcro on him, and he just glues himself to you, and you can't get him off of you. He's got a tremendous work rate. He didn't sit down once in the 11 rounds, and he just stayed doggedly at his task against, again, a guy who had a lot of advantages, reach and height and so forth, but he'd done the business. He'd done the business and stayed at what he does. I mean, the work rate is tremendous for him, and he can punch, and he's hurtful. And once he caught him clean, it was all over.
Mark Heffron, boxing sometimes delivers some bad moments, but this is a very sweet moment for Mark Heffron, who captured the British title.
It's all about keep going and persevering. I think it's his third up, isn't it, for a title, and he'd done the business. That was a cracking fight between the two, and really competitive fight. And I was absolutely delighted delighted as a fight. I mean, it's a shame you have to have a loser, but it was a loser. But that doesn't mean that Lennox won't come back, and we will make sure he does. And obviously, Mark he's in a driving seat at the moment, so good luck to him. It was a fabulous showcase of some of our young talent tonight, and everyone delivered in competitive fights.
Frank, a final question from me. You've been talking about an announcement of something that you've been teasing the whole week. There's talk of Tyson Fury and Thor. What's this announcement? What's the details that you can give me? Nothing
to say. That's it.
If Tyson does have an exhibition, any worries there at all?
I don't know if he's going to have an exhibition. I mean, what is there to worry about in an exhibition? An exhibition's an exhibition. I thought Hamza really boxed well. I mean, it was a good learning fight for him against a real tough guy who had he came in with a great performance from his last fight, getting a draw of a world-class fighter. And I thought he was superb. I mean, his power is unbelievable. He knocked the guy over with a couple of jabs. Got caught himself, so he's still got a lot to learn. But that fight was good for him. He's got a lot of experience in his life for that moving forward. And I genuinely do feel that he's going to be I do think he will go a long way in this sport. I really do feel that.
Lennox Clark, Mark Heffron, an incredible fight, lots of action. What did Lennox Clark? You spoke to Lennox Clark since he was upset.
Yeah, he was upset with the stoppage, but you know what? Sometimes things are meant to be, and look, Lennox. We promote him, and we're not going to leave him by the wayside. We're going to get him back in and get a fight. And I thought Mark was superb. He's the third time to try him for a title, and it's brilliant. I'm pleased for him as well. I mean, they're two lovely guys. He's got to be a winner, but great fight for the fans. Really enjoyable fight.
Lennox Clark was shouting at Mark Heffron when we were interviewing him about a rematch. Is that something that we could see?
Well, we'll sit down at the dust settle, and I think that'd be a great rematch to watch, wouldn't it? I'd certainly buy a ticket to watch that.
Hi, Frank. How are you? You okay?
Yeah, I'm really pleased. It was such a good show, and it was all about showing some of the young prospects that we've got under the Queensberry umbrella, and they really did extremely well. They all shined tonight. It was, I thought it was an excellent show. Well matched as well. All the fights were well matched.
It was an absolutely stacked card. I'm just going to kick off with Masoud Abdullah. Obviously, one of the toughest opponents he's faced, his first 8-rounder. What did you make of Masoud's performance?
I thought the last couple of rounds, once he started getting his jab going, then that's when the superiority really kicked in. you know, he'll learn from that. I hope he learns from it, and you know, and you can't. You know, I see a couple of guys tonight. They wind themselves out looking for the big punch rather than relaxing and working off their jab. And as I say, once he started doing that in the last couple of rounds, he got some rhythm, and he boxed really well. I was pleased for him.
In terms of Hamza Sheeraz facing Torres, Torres was obviously a really game opponent. Hamza Sheeraz did well. It was one of those fights that was like, don't blink. We had Denzel Bentley kind of make an appearance. What are the chances of those two facing each other in the future?
I think this could be a big fight down the road between the two. I've no doubt about that. I think it'd be a great fight down the road.
What was your favourite fight of the night?
It's very difficult, you know. I thought young Dennis did well. I thought Nick Ball done extremely well. You know, that 12 rounds. I mean, he never sat down in between rounds, and he was just, you know, and he was just all action. I mean, he throws. I mean, he's relentless, and he throws these punches from all sorts of angles against a, you know, a tough guy. I thought he'd done a, you know, the Namibian. He came out, and Emmanuel. He came out, and I thought he's shaping up really well. But he just took, you know, he took the fight to him, and gradually broke him down. And I'm pleased he got a stoppage at the end. Great performance. You know, Dennis did well against James Beach. I mean, who got himself back into the fight after that, you know, first round, bad first round. But Dennis turned it up a gear, and when he stopped him, and I thought again he boxed extremely well. It was, you know, it's a really exciting card. You know, Mark and Lennox, as we mentioned earlier, a real good fighting card. Excellent.
Thank you for your time.
Pleasure.
Cheers, Frank. Frank, just quickly, Nick Ball's a man in a hurry. He wants Ray Vargas next. Would you be confident?
He wants who next?
Ray Vargas, the WBC full champion.
Yeah, well, he won't get that yet, but I'm sure he'd fight him tomorrow if he had his way. But he's got, you know, he's getting better and better in every fight, and it was such a good, emphatic win at the end of the day. I mean, he was relentless.
Brilliant. I've just got one very brief question, but do you think the fact that it's Harry from No Smoke Boxing, do you think the fact that it was a 12-fight card, you had great up-and-coming prospects, you had established names, do you think it's a strength, with such a competitive market, it's a testament to the strength of your stable, the fact that you were able to put on a card like this with 12 fights with top names and also up-and-comers too?
Well, they all are up-and-coming. That was what it was all about tonight, showcasing some of our talent. I mean, this is some of our talent because a lot of other youngsters as well, some really good other youngsters who we're going to get out soon. It was great for them. I mean, they had a platform to show themselves on, you know, on BT, and every one of them took advantage of it. All put in sterling performances.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Is that it? Can I go? I thought it was a great fight. I thought it was a really, really, really exciting fight. You know, the Argentinian come to fight, and he's a tough guy. He's last fight he got a draw with a real good quality fighter, Benavides, and Hamza did better than the world-class fighter. So that's how I feel about it. He done the business.
Man, you're a great promoter, man.
Thank you, young man. You're not bad at interviewing either. Right, we all good?